Hello and welcome to Let's Play Rome Total War MSPaint mod. Now before I start playing, I'd like to explain a little bit about this mod. It's a mod that I found completely at random. It is made by some guy whose name I can't remember. That's his actual internet handle, by the way, all in one word, lowercase. And apparently, because this mod came out about 2, maybe 3 months after Rome Total War came out. You do need the actual Rome Total War game installed on your computer to be able to play this mod. And the reason it was made, as far as I understand it, is the guy who made it, well, he really liked the Total War games, but he had a computer from like 1993 or something like that, so obviously he couldn't play Rome Total War, so he made a mod that requires much less processing power and computer specs and all that good stuff. So he removed quite a bit of the map. As you can see, there are only so many provinces on this map as opposed to the original game where you had tons and tons of provinces. I mean, Gaul, for instance, was like 10 provinces in the original game. It's now down to 2. And yeah, the map looks more like the original medieval one and Shogun Total War, the first Shogun Total War. And the graphics look like they are made in MSPaint, which is probably why he named it the MSPaint mod, come to think of it. He also removed quite a lot of economic stuff, like you can't do buildings, and as you can see here, we're gaining 8 talents in tribute. I don't know why it's not called denarii, but apparently we have talents, and that's our currency. And we have a basic manpower. We have currently 5,000 people living in Rome, or Italy rather, and from this screen is where we do most of our stuff. Like with our legions, we can raise new legions, or we could if it wasn't for the fact that we are only ranked as an officer, which it will tell us we cannot command any more legions at this rank. Right. We could strengthen the legion if they had taken damage, which they haven't. We have 4,200 infantry, no cavalry, because we would have been able to upgrade it to a cavalry legion if we had better rank. We can level up by conquering provinces and doing all sort of good stuff over there. We can also hold games, which is something you actually play them like sort of like mini games, and from what I can tell, they're quite fun, although I have no idea how they work, so I'm kind of terrible at it. But you can put on a racing chariots game or a gladiator show excuse me, and that will keep the people happy. It also costs talents to do so, so it's something you might want to do in a pinch if the people are getting too rebellious, which they are right now, but I can't really do anything about it because 20 talents does not a gladiator show make, unfortunately enough. And we can't build fleets because we are too low rank. I have no idea why he made a level up system in this. I guess it's sort of to possibly simulate the family members leveling up and getting more family members and stuff like that. I don't know. Okay, I just don't know. He made it like this, and it's just the way it is. We can change our tribute policy to exempting all provinces, from that all the way to bleeding them dry, which is not good for morale. So we're going to keep it at a tolerable level for now. And we have a province list of 1 province, Italia. So one other thing that you may notice, and may have noticed in that screen, is that we can't really make any sort of, dudes except for military dudes. So you don't have diplomats in this game, and you don't really have a diplomacy screen that you can easily access. The way diplomacy works in this game is if we move this legion down to Sicily, for instance, our forces arrive in Sicily, and the scouts report that the island will not be easily conquered. Its natural defenses include rugged countryside and the surrounding ocean. The wealth of Sicilia is small, and the army is ordinary, and the soldiers are known for their tenacity. And this is the diplomacy screen in this game. Basically, you move your legions into a province, and then you have diplomacy at the point of a sword. Hamilcar, the leader of Sicilia, offers a greeting. Dog! Ravens shall peck at your eyes this day. Well, with a greeting like that, I guess we're going to war. Then we are at war. So, this is the combat screen, and it's a very basic sort of combat mechanic for a Total War game, but you know, it's a mod to make things simple and not require lots of processor and RAM and all that good stuff. So we can choose our formation with a balanced army, a wedge, a strong right or a strong left. I think since we only have infantry, we're going to go with a balanced army, which looks something like this. Our opponent has cavalry, which might be a problem later in game, but this is the first battle, so it's obviously scaled to make it easier for us. And we could just stand fast, outflank, drive a wedge, Scorpius defense and frontal assault, which will give our units their initial orders, and once the battle has started, we can give them orders of our own. So what I want to do is I kind of want to move these guys out so that they get up here. We'll have a strong, solid, unified line to push into them, and then we're gonna push for them. So we're gonna stand fast for now. Epic battle music start. And here we go. You click once and you can select the units that you want to give orders. Now, one thing you might want to know about orders, here if you click on your general, which is well, it's the dude looking like this, the solitary dude on a horse. There's their general. You can see that he has two attributes to him. He has charisma and voice. Now, his charisma, I imagine, helps with keeping your units on the field and gives them a morale boost, whereas his voice is this line you can see here, this little dotted circle. And how this works is you can only issue orders to units that you have within this circle. So since we start with a fairly strong voiced general here, he can give orders pretty much anywhere on the battlefield. If we have him in the middle, he can pretty much shout across the entire battlefield and give orders to his units. As the game progresses, however, we will gain newer legions with newer generals which might not have such a prominent voice. And in that case, it's kind of important to select the correct initial orders to give your units, because if we had given them like a marching order or any of those other orders other than stand fast, they would have executed them at the start of the battle. And say if this guy had a very small circle, he would have to move to within range of the legionaries he would want to issue new orders to. So that's something that becomes much more important later on. Now, one thing we're going to do here, as I said, we're going to move these guys to the side and move our center reinforcements up, and you can keep moving up with them. Also, you can see here we can select roaming units, which is basically just cycling through your units. You can give them a melee order, which is basically if you have a guy without a voice, for instance, you can give a melee order, which is a order to tell everyone to just charge in and fight whatever enemies they will. You basically give your legionaries over to AI control, and they will go after the closest enemy. You can also give them a retreat order, which will tell everyone to retreat whether or not they are within the voice circle of the general. And you can click done when you have given all the orders. So we are forming our line here. Their cavalry is charging us a little bit, and we are already fighting over here. Now we are going to go on the offensive because we have our line, and this should be an easy victory for us, or so I hope anyway. You guys are also going to push, and done. Everyone's fighting. Okay, you guys, you help out with that cavalry right there. Flanked, and then you keep going forward. Excellent. Now, those guys broke. You guys can go in and take care of that. We have taken out their general, which means that they are probably going to rout very shortly. Okay, you guys, you need to move this way, okay? There we go, and we have cut off the cavalry from retreating, so they're gonna die. And there we go, it's a glorious victory. The legionaries of the first Ital have met the army of Sicily in the field of battle. Hamilcar's army used this sweep left tactic against the stand fast of Scorpio Africanus, and the outcome was a glorious victory for Rome. So we took 1061 casualties, had 3139 survivors, and you can see their casualties and survivor count on the side of Sicilia. So now we've captured Sicilia, and we could plunder them, which we are going to do. Giving us 20 more talents. They are upset, but they were already rebellious and upset, so it doesn't really matter to me. They have very little manpower because we kind of slaughtered them on the field of battle, so that's always nice. We could hold a different kind of game here in provincial games. We could hold a bestiarii. That sounds really nasty, and I don't really think I want to know what that is. A gladiator show, racing chariots, or an extravaganza, which costs, well, you can see what it costs. The games work differently in Rome. Yeah, you see, they're only angry now and not rebellious because we actually did something nice and good and conquered provinces in the name of Rome. But if we hold games here, like a gladiator show for instance, we would actually be able to choose the type of gladiator and what that type of gladiator would fight, and then we would control one of them. Which, like I said, I don't really know how they work, and I'm not going to show it off because of that reason. I might do it later on in the series. But yeah, we have done our first turn, and this is our start in Let's Play Rome Total War, the MSPaint mod. So, I'll see you next time.